Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stav's True Plan, the podcast where we get a little philosophical, but a little funny philosophical. You know what I mean? I hope you do, and I hope you know all of these intros. They're gonna be different, because I like to keep it zesty. I like to keep my life a little zesty. Now, I do remember in my last episode, my first, as a matter of fact, that I would be talking about the meaning of life, and I feel maybe we can wait for the future for that one because it's a little tough question to answer. Although I feel like I might have an answer for you. I want to ponder on it a little more before I bring it to everyone's ears to listen to. Now, what we're going to get into today is as you may look at your calendar. Let me look at mine real quick. As I'm recording this, it's December 31st. 2021. A really intriguing date because this is the last day of this year. So I would like to take this time and do a little pondering about how my year was and a better outlook perhaps to have in the new year. Now, it goes without saying that everyone during this year has had a lot of they had to persevere through a lot of things, as did I. I had a shoulder surgery. I'm still in physical therapy for. Um, Frankly, like so much happens. But I'll tell you that this definitely was probably one of the most integral years of my life. Absolutely, and I can go with like a chronological what's happened in my year and what you should what mindset you should adopt for the brand new year. So, um the beginning of my 2021, it wasn't great at all, to be honest. I didn't have a good beginning. And then a few months later will pass. And then me and my closest friends ever went on a trip to Arizona. Now, this trip was not any ordinary trip. We had 19 and 20-year-olds, barely even 20, 18, 19-year-olds, all packed up in a car. And we went from Michigan to Arizona, and we drove there, which was completely unheard of at the time, right? Because I haven't even, that was my first hotel that I booked on my own. So that was it was a almost coming of age in a certain sense because there were a lot of firsts for me during that time and adapting to a new point in my life that I've never had to before. I would say transitioning from 17 to 18 in the last year, my birthday being in October. I'm newly 18, so I'm like still a baby. I think you're honestly a baby until you're like 23, 24. I don't know what the society reckons that you're an adult at 18. You can have adult problems like taxes, but you can't fix them in adult ways with drinking. Just saying. But no, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. The topic at hand, right? So, for this trip, me and my boys, me and my three bestest friends ever, driving in a car to Arizona. There have been times on the GPS where we saw 300, 400 plus miles. I think remember 600 miles at one time straight on the highway, and it was just us, the music, the views, the conversations, and that time of my life was very healing. I was just coming off of something that I'd rather not talk about. And I really needed a moment with my closest friends, let alone an escape. So Arizona for us was that escape, and each one of us had our separate moments in like our developments. And in my year, that was very important because I remember coming in Arizona and leaving, not even the same person at all. And It took looking at the Grand Canyon at sunrise for me to realize I need to fix this shit. So that was an amazing experience of my entire year. We did so many amazing things during that trip, and I feel like every once in a while you should have a trip to escape, whether it be with your friends, your significant other, or yourself. It takes a it's really important to detox because, in your daily life that you live, you seldom, I'm just speaking in a generalization right now, but I find it that people seldom ever take time for themselves. And I know that sometimes time gets away and you can't really control that. It's out of your control sometimes whether or not you have time. But I feel like you can truly make time for yourself because in the end, your body deteriorates and you need to feed it somehow. Go to on a walk or something, something cool like that, something out of your comfort zone, something you don't do. Somewhere far away, preferably, if you don't like it where you live, maybe. But if you don't like where you live, maybe make that change, slowly work to something amazing. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, so the moral for my story about Arizona is I would say that it's important to take a trip someplace and detox, be in an environment you never would have been in before. Like being in Michigan, our climate's rather shit. I mean, going to Arizona, it was rather amazing, and that contrast, I was almost like in a new world of with new experiences with with the homies that I adore. My closest, my for reals, as the kids say nowadays. I've never heard no one say that, but I made it up. Anyway, so after Arizona, I'm trying to remember my 2021. I have to look at my months. Like, hold on. If we went to, oh yeah, okay. So soon after that, I was proven another really important life lesson as well about relationships. So a lot of people, like, now we're gonna get into a relationship topic for our end of year discussion because an end can also be a beginning too. So coming into 2022 with a different mindset about what it means to be in a relationship and what to look for is important too. Now, you're going to notice this episode is going to be all over, but I think that it should be a little all over because I have a lot to talk about, especially in terms of like quote unquote resolutions, which I think is a stupid trend because no one holds true to their resolutions. So I would say there are a couple things that I want to think about, like things to think for the new year, right? So what I was talking about earlier, relationships. A lot of people, they go and seek out a relationship, right? They go on these dating apps, go to bars, like meet people, like trying to meet someone on purpose. And although I feel like that does work, okay, I don't know what the hell just happened. I'm getting deep in conversation, deep in thought, and my audio software decided, hey, maybe let's stop recording. Anyway, let's continue further. What was I talking about? Yeah, so although I do feel like that does work, trying to seek out somebody, I'm living proof that that doesn't have to necessarily be the case. I'm in an amazing relationship now with somebody who I've known over for a year, and I met her online at Zoom in Zoom University, if you will. Um, Most like the initial me like talking to her, I was genuinely like I was looking for help, and we got closer and started being friends, and it blossomed over time naturally, and I feel really strongly about her because we have a very meaningful connection that can't really be just made up on like a dating app, right? So I guess that's my explanation for that is although I do believe that, yeah, dating app romances happen, but I feel the purpose of dating apps, you can like list like what you're truly looking for, But I feel like if you're on a dating app, I mean, let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? Um, being desperate like that, there's no reason to be desperate, you know? There are, and I hate this phrase because it's so mainstream, but it's so fucking true. There are fish in this sea, you know? That this ocean is big. 7 billion people, yeah, on this earth, right? So it's hard to believe that there's not someone for you. There's somebody for you, right? But I think that what you should aim for is bettering yourself, and people will notice that and like it, you know? So you should create a situation where you're doing really good for yourself. You know, maybe you're working towards a goal, you know, ambition is really important, drive, all that is really important for a proper to find a proper connection, right? So being in like similar environments, same like I don't listen. I was gonna say same workplace, but you know I have a saying: don't eat where you shit, and that's really important too. But anyway, so in the topic of this, the main thesis of what I'm trying to get to is that try not to seek out a relationship. You should seek to better yourself prior to then, because a lot of the times people don't believe it, and I was a non-believer too. I never believed that something could just come across my way naturally without me doing something about it, because I'm really what's the word, I like I'm headstrong. So I, without creating the possibility of something like that, I never would think that it would happen naturally. And I was so like I was strong in my belief of that, but I was I was wrong. I was completely wrong. And I didn't we didn't try very hard for a beautiful connection to happen. And that's how it should be, and it should be effortless. And I believe it was really effortless, the way how we gained a beautiful connection. So I'll be starting a brand new year with her. So I hope that it'll be great. I know it will be great because I sense a great connection with her. Anyway, to get from this topic, I was talking earlier about a little bit of resolution action. I think resolutions are an absolute scam because here I work at a gym, right? Granted, I have been off for a while for my shoulder to heal, but there are talks amongst my coworkers, and I know it too because I've seen it myself, that during the new year there is a big, huge influx of people that are just rushing to come in to the gym, bust their ass, and work out to make themselves feel good about themselves because they made a resolution. I'm gonna get fit. I'm gonna lose weight. Good for you. Around April or May, you know, I had to do the counting in my mind. I'm not gonna lie. I pulled out the fingers. You know, I still be doing that. It's not childish to pull out your fingers, but regardless, um, around April, yeah, April, yeah, it starts to die down. You wonder why, right? What gets in the way of that? Well, it's almost like the difference between a diet and a meal plan, right? A diet has kind of like short-term connotations. You when I mean, be honest, every time you've had a diet, you really haven't like committed to it. You maybe for like a month or two, you're like, yeah, I'm fucking with this diet. Look at me, I'm doing good. But then, you know, that slice of pizza get to you, and you want to have 2, 3, and 6, and now your meal plan's away, and you're not fully committed to it anymore. What happened? Because you really need to make it a part of your lifestyle. It's not something you do, it's something you are, right? So you live and breathe what you want to achieve. Oh, that rhymes. Put it on a t-shirt or whatever. Anyway, so for example, when I used to weigh around 210 pounds, right? And I hate to use fitness for this example, but it's a really easy example for me to explain about because I can apply it to my life easier. But you can apply this to anything in your life in terms of resolution. So when I used to be 210 pounds, I was like, man, I'm really trying to lose this weight. So I remember a key point that I did was I was really, really headstrong in my, endeavors of losing my weight. So I had these meal plans and I stuck to them every day on the books, right? I had it. I was eating my meals at specific times, going to the gym with, doing the exact workouts. It made it like a checklist, so I felt completed when I checked it off that day. And I think that you should do the same for any other like resolution that maybe you want to complete. Make it long standing. Make it a part of your life for the long run. Like there are many, many resolutions that people may have. And for them to become a reality, you need to stick to your guns. And don't say shit to make other people like be keen on it. This is your resolution, right? So in the end, it's up to you. It's up to you whether you want to lose weight. It's up to you whether you want to get better grades. You need to bust your ass for your own sake, not to say that you did it. When people ask you what your resolution is, don't say shit, right? Don't say a word because like, and then you can say this, I don't believe in the New Year's resolutions. A resolution is a trend because a resolution like lasts for 3-4 months. Say you're going to adopt a new frame of mind to achieve your goals. Maybe that'll be a resolution, but don't ever call it that. The same way how, I'm on a meal plan, not on a diet. That's all I got to say for that. You really have to truly commit to what you want to do. And in this brand new, listen, 2021 sucked so much dick. It's true. 2021 was bad, right? A whole new level, I would say. I think it was honestly. I wouldn't say it's like worse than 2021 or 2020. I meant to say. Although that's when our pandemic started, right? I think 21 was worse because we thought we were getting better and we weren't. And I think that I think people just feel the goods more and the bads just as much. When you're like thinking about life as like a sine wave across like a line, and there can be ups, there can be positives and negatives. People generally like tend to feel the highs really like high and the lows really low. And I think to be happier, especially in the new year, you need to find that middle ground where when something good happens, you're like, nice. And when something bad happens, it's like, all right. But never stray too far out. When the nice thing happens, like, hell yeah, that's amazing. Oh my God, how could it ever get worse? New COVID variant, for example. Anyway, so I would say never let the highs get too high or the lows get too low. Because when you hit that high and that low happens, because life is a wave. So when you're gonna hit that low one day. Don't be afraid of it though, because the lows make the higher better, and the highs make the lowers easier to endure. So just keep that in mind for the new year as well. And I gotta say, a real quick little thing about COVID too, because people got nasty. I don't. People got nasty. Like it's really important. Like, what was y'all taught in elementary school? Sing the ABCs when you wash your hands. Wash all the way up to your elbows. Disinfect before you eat. Don't put your fingers in your mouth. Like, have we forgotten about that? Have we forgot? I'm just curious. I'm like, it's really important to be clean, right? You honestly, people will like see like, oh, that's a cool motherfucker if you clean yourself and your hands is not dirty, musty, crusty, right? So I just think that maybe we can squash this and get back to our normal lives. If maybe you just clean up a little bit, wipe the doorknobs, clean your phone. Your phone is dusty. I know your phone is dirtier than the toilet seat. Clean that shit, please. Do us all a favor, you super spreader activities. Anyway, that's besides the point. So, I'm sorry. I'm talking about so many different things, and I low key, I don't know why. I love doing that. I love talking about many different topics. And this one's a little more off the rails. But we're leaving this in 21, so I'm good with that. How are y'all doing? Y'all good? I'm glad. My lips are dry right now, and low key they kind of hurt, but I think it's okay. They're all right. Anyway, so in the new year, things to look out for is take every weight on your shoulders with pride, right? So it's gonna get low, it's gonna get high. Good things are gonna happen, bad things are gonna happen, right? Don't let COVID get you more in the dumps than it already has, right? We're already limited to what we can do, but your brain is limitless and you can do so much. So I recommend don't let it get you down too far because it's manageable if you make a rainbow out of the donkey. You gotta find beauty where no one can see it. And although I do think that the pandemic never happened, I find myself thinking about it very often. Where if it never happened, I think I'd be way more dumb than I am right now. And I think that for our generation, we needed a little rude awakening that of our like mortality because this this is making it all too real, right? We're seeing people pass away just like that in a blink of an eye just because they weren't being careful, and that's really silly to me. And it's important for us to see like and realize, yeah, life is fragile, but don't let your will be fragile. Let it be undying. Let it carry you through this terrible time. And really, honestly, it just comes to just perseverance because um I don't know the exact definition, but the way how I understand the word perseverance is your drive to continue through something when met with a there's like a fancy word I want to use. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not going to use it if I can't find it. When faced with bad things, how good are you at handling that? So this is really showing us all that like we're all going through shit right now. All of us, same bullshit, same bullshit. So you should find solace in that. Everyone has to deal with that. So don't feel too bad about it. That like we can't control that. If you listen to our first episode, this refers back to the dichotomy of control, right? Things can and can't be controlled, right? Like for example, this pandemic. You can't control the existence of this pandemic. You can't control that. You're not like a biology superstar that can control viruses with your mind and shit. No. But what you can control is how you react to this virus. How can you react to something this heinous? Well, I'll tell you how you can react to it. You're like, well, damn, I can't control, my I can't control the virus itself, but I can control, let's say, for example, whether or not I stay home if I'm feeling a little sickly, or I can control, what else can you control? There's so many things that you could control, but I'm just spitballing right now, right? All of my episodes are spitballing. Honestly, I don't like writing notes because I like the raw stuff that comes out. But sometimes there's a bad side to it. Some words just don't come to me, and that usually does in conversation too. So you're it's almost like you're having a conversation with me, and that's what I love about this is that we can have a proper conversation about this topic. So I really like that. But in the end, when it comes to the brand new year, to close, if you will, in terms of this brand new year, a lot of stuff is uncertain. But what absolutely is certain is that you have a lot more control than you think you do. And when it seems like you're losing control financially, physically, mentally, relationshipally, gain control of that because you have the most control in your life that you absolutely can. You're the only one who has, honestly, the most control. You can control how you react to certain things. You can control whether certain things happen or not. That's in your hands. I do believe that it is. And I think that you can absolutely control whether this year is going to be good or bad for you. But don't let it be bad. No. This 2021 was like for me at least, an amazing year of growth. And I hope that 2022 will give me that same pleasure of growth. But you know, you can't. What happens to colon depression? Diamonds. That's what happens. So I want you to be one of them diamonds, shining so bright in the sky, so gorgeous. Look at you. You're being formed under pressure? That's okay. Don't get depressed. Turn into that diamond and shine so bright. Like I know you can. Like I know you're capable of it. That'll be that episode of Stav's True Plan. And hey, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all enjoyed my I'm not ADHD, but that was like the energy of like ADHD because I went through so many different topics in this, like it's crazy. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I'll see you next year, bitch.